This is our jacket with Amanda dress, and this is a draped collar jacket which kind of looks like a shawl color with black bias binding around the jacket. At the beginning of this project, we constructed this jacket with draping technique. You can join us in Draping Society to access the whole 5-hour course from design to finished garment. I decided to use this Bouclé fabric that I bought it from the Mood store. This fabric has a beautiful drape and it is soft, warm and cozy, and I think it's gonna look very stylish and nice. It will have its own challenges because the weaves are very open and the threads are kind of very fuzzy. I like the raw edges a lot, and actually instead of covering it the full thing, I might just use the raw edges as an decorative finishing. But I am going to give you different type of finishing options, and I'm gonna go over these options as well. Now I am going to show you some samples of the finishing of the seams for our jacket. And this is particularly, I chose these 3 different techniques to work around the boucle fabric, and which because it's pretty easy to come off all the yarns and all the threads of the fabric, and we need to cover them because if we leave them all raw, it's going to be a problem. Either you have to use serger, or you mirror machine or purl stitch each piece, or we can use bias binding. So I'm not going to show you the serger one. You can have it, you do it yourself if you want to use a serger or the purl stitch. You can definitely go ahead and do that, but I'm just going to show you more tailored work. This is the face and this is the back of our fabric. Both are usable. It's beautiful. So let's give it a try. So the first one, I am using the black because it blends well with this, and my stitch length and the pressure is 2.5, and I am going to do it in 1 centimeter at my seam allowance. Okay, this is basic straight stitch, but I am going to open up this and add a top stitch on the other side or from the inside. I'm just gonna have it very close to my middle stitch. Make it sure it's locked down and it's not gonna, the threads come off. So one side is done. Now I need to do the other side as well. It's a very fuzzy fabric. It's really hard to see the actual seam. It gets lost. So as you see, outside of the stitch it looks like this. It really doesn't show much, and it's good because it makes it, and still is very soft, and the other side is pressed down. Now one thing that I like to do with this is to actually take off all the loose threads that are supposed to come out, like shed it, take off all of it till where it's, you know, hits our stitch, and it's gonna be locked by there. I'm not saying it, do it like very aggressively, just as it's naturally come off. This is a very nice way of the decorative stitch as well, and I'm gonna show you some samples of some of the high-end designers actually did that for using the boucle fabric to make a jacket, and I found them. They used this type of finishing, and I thought it's kind of cool, so I wanted to give it a try as well for my finishing of my jacket. And you can definitely use this on the top of the fabric instead of the inside of the, and do it till it feels like it's not coming in anymore. This one seems like pretty much it. Maybe that's about it. Okay, now I'm gonna use my scissor to clean up, to not all very close to the edge, but just clean it, and this side as well. All down to the same length. If you want a clean look, it can be raw and messy little too. That's the style as well. So basically it's like that. Do you see how cute it is? Actually, for the top of even for the top fabric, it looks like you put it like some kind of a decorative ribbon or something, you know, but it is in a stitch actually. And this is the back of it, and I haven't even pressed it. Now I'm gonna go press it and then bring it back and then show you. Now I pressed it. It is more flat, but you can totally have it like more little textured, more textured if you want, you know. And but the back, which is going to be the face of the fabric, is looking like this, which is pretty clean and neat, and it doesn't show much, and it is pretty soft. You see, it's pretty soft. It doesn't have bulk in it, and so the seams are actually looking very soft and nice. So that works great, you know, that works well in here. So this is something I would probably enjoy doing it. Now for the edge of the fabric, neckline, and the edge of the maybe hem of the jacket, but I need to lock the stitch, and so it doesn't like the whole fabric doesn't come off and rip off all the way. So that's what I'm going to do, the kind of similar same thing. I'm just gonna go use the straight stitch close to the edge, not very close though, because I kind of like it fuzzy, so I just wanted to put at least like half an inch. So I'm gonna do the half an inch, but while I'm doing it, I'm probably gonna use my stitch to like make it little even tighter, and see how it's gonna look. And if it's too tight, I will let you know, but I'm going to use about a half an inch. And then on the edge, I am going to turn it around. Since this is going to be the bottom of my jacket, for example, I can maybe go ahead and try it and see how it's gonna look. And why not all the way to here as well. And here, I'm gonna turn around again, basically making the whole square, the rectangular, of similar way of. Okay, now so the back looks like this, and the front, I mean this is the inside, but this is the back. And I'm going to use the same thing for the edge of the my jacket, like the neckline and the hem. So if I want to use this, I need to see how it's gonna look, right? Like this is a test that's gonna help me to decide what type of finishing I want. And I might want to do one more time to make it little even. It doesn't have to be on the same stitch, it can be just a tiny bit, little bit next to it. I'm gonna use one more stitch to make sure it is helping me to lock. Okay, now this time I feel a little bit safer. You can just go as all the way very close to your you know, stitch that is kind of locking the threading coming off. You know, this is the part that you're actually now having fun with this. but of course you should not go wild. You just have to make this carefully, patiently. It's kind of like, this is like a textile art that you are doing right now. This technique is used in so many couture dresses. We especially use it in chiffon, georgette, and organza, and especially when we don't want any finishing, edge finishing, and we want it to look raw and kind of look more artistic and more, it's kind of looks very crafty, but in a nice way, of course. So now this side is done. You can leave it as not straight or clean, you know, it doesn't have to be very unit, like all same, but if you want to have a control over the length, the edge to be exactly same, so after doing this you just want to trimming to, and it is, if you leave it long, it's basically kind of like that. You can still have a little bit more. Let's see, it's almost all the way to the stitches. It is now, it is exactly to the stitches. Now making it very unit in here, like same length at this side, so it's very looking like that, and it's not even pressed. So I'm just gonna double check some pieces if they're a little too long, just gonna, because some of them are kind of curly. So this side is like that, so this can be like the edge of your jacket. That's gonna like fold and look like that, or the bottom of your jacket. Right, or the kind of just like that. Which I kind of like. And I'm going to do now, this part is because there is a stitch, right? Let's see how it's gonna look if it goes over the stitch, because over the seam. There is a seam in here, so, and we did the same style of finishing, but let's see how it's gonna look if we do that on this sewn seam, right? I put some example of the attach some example of the finishing and some of them, but I definitely saw it in Dior before, and like it's seriously, it's not even like unified like this. It's kind of left very, as you would say, messy, but like kind of like that. And there is that can be charming as well if you are not OCD like me. if it doesn't bother you, you can definitely use that technique, which I'm going to use it in here to just see why not, see, you know, if it's doable or how does it look. Maybe I like it better. Just gonna leave it raw and not clean, cleaned, and then of course I need to press it a little bit down as well, at least to the seam, so it just doesn't make this looks very punk, by the way. I kind of like it. I mean, I can totally see Vivienne Westwood doing something similar like that, and or Margiela or Rick Owens, and having this type of messy edge. I mean, I do have one vest from Max Mara, which Max Mara is known for their perfect stitches and very clean style. they have like this minimal, nice, clean look. But my vest is basically does not have any clean edge stitching. It's laser cut. By time it starts to rip a little bit and it looks raw. I paid a lot of money for that jacket, for that vest, and I was wondering like, is that okay? Just once in a while I had to just little clean it, like not all the time, like maybe all together I did it like 2 or 3 times, and I have that jacket for more than 5 years. And this is probably gonna be the same story with this if you are planning to leave it more crafty as this, you know. I mean, this is quite possible. I would do it if I wasn't too OCD about the clean finishes. I might. But I mean, raw edges I understand, like I can do this. For this I need to like think about it. I need to, because once you clean it, just before you totally clean it, just wear it, like try it on and see if you like it. Not the inside seams though, like keep the inside seams clean and trimmed. But for the edge finishing of your jacket or around the neckline, around the collar, you might want to give this edgy look. Hey, Nedanikui here. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it helps you on your sewing and dressmaking journey. If you like to create clothes for any shape that fits like a glove without wasting weeks on figuring out the fit issues, I'd like to invite you to check out our online platform called Draping Society. We've got step-by-step courses, live stream seminars every week, and we have an amazing worldwide community of like-minded sewists. We also have a unique system we call the Dressmaker's Path. No matter where you are right now on your skill, whether you are a new beginner or working professional, this system is designed to kickstart your progress with a huge impact, while also having a lot of fun along the way. We designed Draping Society as a relaxed year-round workshop that you can follow at your own pace, so you are never going to get that feeling of falling behind. On the flip side, you'll never feel held back either. If you wish to become a confident and skillful dressmaker, join us and be amazed by your transformation. Click here or below, or just go to drapingsociety.com. I look forward to seeing you inside. Cheers.